Welcome to Bloom and Full Color, where we live life in high definition. Did I say that right?
You said it a little funky.
Yeah, we're going with it. Welcome to the podcast. Jennifer Moss, Adam Thompson.
Hello.
We're a little manic. It's towards the end of June. We're on the countdown. This is coming out on July 2nd. So we are talking about 4th of July. All right. So 4th of July. It's a patio holiday.
It's the best holiday. It's
You
my
think so?
favorite. Yeah,
Really?
it is. I know it's kind of like odd because people don't think of me as like patriotic.
Yeah,
right?
that's not in the wheelhouse of the
You
things
might
that I
think
would
someone of me like me might just hate the 4th of July, but I absolutely love it.
Why?
And one of the reason is the lights and the sounds, you know, the stimulation, right?
High
at
stimulation.
night.
Absolutely.
Same thing why I enjoyed our Illuminate the Night, because lights in the dark. I love Christmas time too. I hate Christmas, but I love LEDs all over
you
houses.
and I are both not Christmas-y people.
But
I like the holidays.
yeah, anything illuminating the night, so to speak, is great to me. But I also really like it that it is cross-cultural.
And it doesn't matter.
All of the minorities and just
very inclusive.
diverse people in the United States, we're all here because we like that, because we like our freedom, and that is the day to celebrate it. So it doesn't matter if you're an immigrant, it doesn't matter if you're native born, it doesn't matter if you're visiting, you can appreciate the United States for its independence, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's one of the only holidays, minus New Year's, which I also love, that is everyone's on the same page. It's not like only this religion does this one, only that religion does that one, only this culture does this one. You know,
Hanukkah,
it feels like
all that.
Everyone really is
4th of July
barbecuing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Which, like, I could tell you, I think is kind of lame, but the fact that we're all doing kind of more or less the same thing. And I don't know any businesses that stay open on the 4th. I'm sure there's a handful of corporates and things, but like I've never worked for a business that's like restaurants. When we were in the restaurant industry,
I was just trying to think about that.
We always closed at like 1 or 2 or something. And you know,
there was always, no, I worked in an area that was peak, so I had to. I was up in Wood River.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to work 4th.
It's probably different, but still, I think in general, those businesses tend to let people away early, things like that. I think it's just, that's why I like it. There's my spiel. Why do you like it if you do at all?
So I was just thinking of this joke I read once that said, do they have 4th of July in Mexico?
They do.
Yeah, because it's the 4th of July.
They have it everywhere, actually.
Yeah. It's not Independence Day.
But Mexico has their Independence Day. I think it's in September.
Yeah, but I asked it, do they have a 4th of July? It's just like, everywhere has a 4th of July. But that's an easy one to screw up the answer to. Anyhow, why do I like the 4th of July? So we used to have an annual ugly Christmas sweater party. And it was an adults only. And things got a little wild. And I'm sure we ran off half the neighbors. So we kind of re-geared after COVID, because obviously during COVID, nobody threw parties. And so I said, what if we'd like to have a lot of people over when we do a party? I mean, we don't have a small group of friends either. And so between my husband and I mean, we can throw together 80 people real quick. It's like, oh God. And there's usually, small people and kids and the whole thing. So we decided, why don't we flip it and do a 4th of July party? So we test ran it last year, and 70 people at the house all of a sudden, and we have a beautiful backyard. I've got a great spot in town. It works. We're in a quiet,
like a damn park.
Yeah,
just throw out a blanket. Picnic.
Exactly. And now I have a hammock in the tree. I've got a swing. There's a trampoline for the kids. We put out cornhole. We smoke ribs. We make it a party. And I love the gathering that happens on 4th of July, because I had a couple of 4ths around college, during college, that didn't go so well. Like showing up at a party and everybody got in a fight, or got in a car accident, ran into the neighbor's car, bashed up my vehicle, like stupid crap. Like, so I just had this bad stigma to the holiday for a while, and it was like, that's just all in my head. I gotta move past that. So I rebranded it, because I'm not gonna let some past memory ruin anything for me. That's not how I operate. So I said, all right, how can we make this something fun? So I lean into the 4th. And the thing I love the most about the food part is everybody brings something. Nobody ever hesitates to participate.
Mhm.
I mean, you have the bachelor pad boys that are like, "What can I bring?" And it's like, go get a 7-layer
Just
dip
get a
and
6-pack for yourself and shut up.
There's that. Yeah, but my standard is go get some chips. Go
Yeah.
get some chips and
Yeah.
some dip. We'll figure it out.
You can't mess that up.
Exactly. Or a tray of cookies or some shit. And they're like, well, no, you make way better. Oh, I'm going to make you look like a fool. You bring store-bought cookies. You can absolutely guarantee that. But you participated. So you get participation trophy. Good job.
Do you have a chart?
Mine as well.
Adam Thompson didn't bring a gift this year.
I don't need gifts. I just need participation. And if you bring your own beverage and take care of your own shit, great. Like, and we always have too much stuff. That is a guaranteed. But the thing I love the most about the food, because I am a food retard, all the things, which if you listen, you know, I like to use all the stuff from the garden. And so you have all the herbs available at that time. You have several different produce items, but it's mostly your early stuff. It's a lot of your fruit families.
Strawberries.
Oh, yeah. And all your stone fruits have come on. Your cherries are on. Your peaches, your nectarines.
In Idaho.
Yeah, they're real close, homie.
My
Not
apples.
on the trees yet,
Oh, okay.
but like you can get them.
Just they're available, yeah.
They're get them.
But that's
Washington.
Thank you,
and-
Washington.
Washington and California are sending them in. I'm
Yeah.
eating those now.
I was like,
Cherry, same. Mine are starting to fruit out. At my
yeah,
house.
mine are too.
Mine
I
are
was
fruiting.
really worried about our late frost, but my apples are doing good.
You know, our big orchard down in the canyon was not so lucky.
Yeah, Kelly's.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel really bad for them. But
Well, that's just it.
it's the nature of the
It's
beast.
the nature of the beast.
And
You-
they assume those risks every year. And
and you can't control Mother Nature.
Nope.
Boy, howdy do we know.
let all of you know that.
We manipulate it for a living.
I don't choose the last frost date running an independent garden center. That is not me. I do have some ins with the garden gods, but
that is not on the list of things I can control.
they decided it wasn't my
And
responsibility.
if she's menopausal, there's nothing I can do. Yeah, it's
And I think Sun Valley's having problems too, because they're anticipating a frost this weekend.
Yep,
which-
they're gonna get really cold on Sunday,
This
Monday.
is what we plan for too, middle of June. And look at that.
Yeah.
We're right on schedule.
Yeah, there's gonna be a frost,
so was-
and there'll
so
probably
were
be
we.
snow in June.
We planned
July.
for May 15th around the Magic Valley, and that was about our last frost. So we're
It's-
actually right on time this
It's
year.
June 15 to June 20 up there, and
Yeah.
it'll still be it'll be right in there that they'll have another frost. Or they'll
But-
have another freeze. It might not sit in free frost. It'll just depend on how much moisture they have in the air.
But what we can say is, I think the part that makes July 4th is kind of always, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, feels like the kickoff to summer,
It is.
because we are certainly in all of our high elevation climates too. We're certainly past the frost date at that point.
Yep.
And then this is the tail end of like spring vegetables. This is when the temperatures start getting so high that, you know, really your lettuces should be harvested. Your
Yeah.
beets should probably harvested. Things like that.
Your
So
radishes are
there's a
out.
lot
Your
of
carrots
abundance.
Are finishing.
Yeah, there's an abundance of the first flush of spring harvest. And
Yeah.
that's what I think
Well,
really fortifies all our barbecues.
you're not going to see corn until about August. So if you're getting corn, it's coming from somewhere else typically.
If you get a 4th of July tomato in Idaho to have a fruit by the 4th of July, call me, please.
And we want to know what variety it is. Now, the two that I would recommend is one is called 4th of
That's
July.
what I'm referring to. I want to see, because it doesn't mature by the 4th of July.
Not
in
unless you
my
get it in
experience.
really, really soon. And then the other one is Jetstar.
Yeah. I need
There's
to
okay. I'm gonna just
experiment.
say it. I'm gonna publicly say it on video.
do it.
I
Disrupt.
hate early girls. They
Me too.
taste like garbage.
If you want a reliable, shitty tomato from
That's the one.
Winco, it's an early girl.
That's the one.
what you're eating.
Yeah.
It is developed to be the
Early.
first on the shelf and the longest on the shelf. It is a
It is
garbage
not developed for flavor.
tasting tomato.
That's what we're talking about.
It's a good plant.
It's a great plant. It's got
a good
disease
plant.
resistance. It's
Yeah.
got a high yield. It's sexy in the garden. Don't get me wrong. It tastes like crap.
and that's the reason, you know, you'll want to grow it, is because in Idaho we get like 3 weeks of tomato season and then it's done, unless you're in a hot house.
Oh, I get way longer of a tomato season.
Well, then you're doing something good.
I always
mulching or
plant.
partial shade or something good?
They get morning shade, and then it gets noon to 10 full sun, and so I get 10 to 12 hours of sun on my tomatoes.
Yep.
That's a big thing.
That is minimum.
That. Yeah, people are like, "Oh, it gets 6 hours of sun." I'm like, oh, good luck.
Nope.
You need 8 hours is a base minimum, but you truly need 10 to 12.
Yeah.
It's a day length sensitive plant.
Yeah.
And then with my tomatoes, I plant without fail around Mother's Day. I think I planted the week after this year. I plant 1 gallon plants. My plants are already if the floor is my soil level, they're already this tall.
Nice.
And they're bushing out really nicely. I also put biostarter in the soil, and then I'll fertilize consistently through the season. And then I turn off my water on September 1. I just turn it off. I only water when they flag, because anything that's green will ripen, because the plant goes into reproduction mode.
Yep.
So no, I will have, my plants will be fruiting by that, but they will not quite be too ripe.
Yeah, that's why I say like 3, maybe 4 weeks, because it really starts like mid to late August, and then our first frost is usually late September.
Yeah.
But I'm like a frost harvester. I just pull off all the tomatoes at frost and then process them out and force ripen
with
them.
Green tomatoes too.
Oh yeah, fried green tomatoes are the business.
Are they?
And I'm like a year having discovered that. I have no idea.
Figure it out.
It's really good.
Well, I just figured out sourdough for me. It's a big deal. I've had a sourdough starter from gluten-free stuff, using Bob Mills 1-to-1 gluten-free, feeding it on and off for 2 effing months. Okay. And I haven't done shit with it except make sourdough banana bread.
The longer you go.
I know. So, and it's sour. Like it's funky and it's delicious. Well, I finally bit the bullet and did this recipe that it was good. I need to tweak it. I want to put salt in it because it didn't have salt, but it has no eggs too, because I can't do egg whites. So it's got no eggs in it. So it was the sourdough starter, the flour, water, and then it had a combo of xanthan gum, flaxseed ground up, and psyllium husk. Let it rise for like 20 hours, and it did like this much of a raise, like less than a half inch.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And it was really dense, but it's delicious. And so I'm going to do salt and herbs in it. I'm going to make another loaf tonight and then bake it tomorrow. So
I have to find out where xanthan gum comes from.
Oh, you got to figure it out. I want to know what it is. I made sure I bought it at Natural Grocers, because I learned how they make baking soda, and that super freaked me out. So now I had to get organic, all that stuff. And baking powder is just as scary. Don't tell me.
You sure you want to know?
I don't. I do want to know.
It's extracted from a bacteria.
Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me, and that doesn't scare me at all.
It's basically like
it's a binding agent.
It's a thickening binding agent, but it is just a type of like sugar. It's just a different molecular structure of sugar, which is why there are like 100 types of sugar or something. Yeah, but it's just one of them, and it comes from bacteria. So thanks, microbes.
So let's circle back.
So you bring sourdough to the 4th of July barbecue.
I'm actually just doing the protein.
Oh, nice.
I'm just doing ribs and burgers and dogs.
That really is what the host should be doing. Yep. Everything else should be like kind of
exactly
brought.
I'm gonna like make sure there's one vegetable side and one fruit side and one dessert. Like I'll make sure there's something.
You're going all out still.
Well, I'm not going all out. Last year I went all out and I threw a lot of stuff away, and so I was like, well, I'm not going all out. So but I'll still make sure there'll probably be a platter of cookies, because that's easy. And if I don't make cookies, my whole family will mutiny, because apparently my kids they were somewhere. Some lady was selling cookies like as a business, and they taste them and they're like, they're not as good as my stepmom's. Shut up. Where are your manners? Keep that to yourself. And thank you. Big compliment.
Honesty is great.
My children are lovely. And I hope they hear me say that every once in a while. I really like my kids. They're 13 right now, so I'm trying to enjoy every minute of it, because I'm sure it's short.
You have like 5 minutes left.
Exactly. So that said, I'll have all that stuff, but like, gosh, the things you could. So my patio will be on fire, like on point. My patio already looks awesome. My pots look awesome.
Mean
my
flowers,
basket, my baskets, my flowers, I've got a big raised bed with lettuce through it that is they don't like the heat. They're not growing
Nope.
very fast. And the seed company we worked with was a little slow. I'm not impressed with our seed company. We should talk about that because I planted several things and a lot of them didn't germinate.
For you personally or for us here?
For the ones I got from our retail.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a lot of things not germinate. And I treat
Really?
everything really well.
Huh.
Yeah. Beets, whole package, 2 came up. Yeah, I was just like, interesting. Carrots. I tried like 6 different kinds. And not all of them are for here. Some of them I got from another store because I wanted black carrots and purple carrots and red carrots, and we didn't have those.
I think I have already had the decision to switch that to a different.
And
anyway,
it alternates all the time. But yeah, so I'm going to harvest anything out of my garden and make fresh stuff with that. But I would say if anybody is harvesting golden beets, they're the second beets to be ready. Because the purple ones are always ready first, because that's what you can find in the store right now. But those golden beets, oh my God, they're good.
They are.
If you don't like beets because you think they taste like dirt, try again.
Try golden beets.
Try golden beets, because I'll dice them up and cook them with potatoes and onions and peppers, like in a breakfast hash kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
My family doesn't even hesitate, and they just plow through it. I'm like, ooh, eating veggies, winning. Fruit on point. Like you can do all the like marshmallow, strawberry, like all the with the blue glitter with the marshmallow cream. You can do all sorts of fun freaking festive.
You and I read different magazines.
Yes, you do. I like fun stuff. I like things that are loud but healthy.
I just like plants, Jen. Eating is like so low on the list of. I mean, houseplants are above eating.
Really? I literally have a cactus and an orchid right now, and that is it. That is the only things in the house.
That is an improvement from our first podcast this season.
Yeah.
You had 0.
I had 0. No, I still had the cactus. I just forgot to talk about it.
I have several hundred cactus. I need to get rid of them.
I have. Do you know how much I dislike cactus?
Well, if you ran into one, it'll be for life.
I dislike them. I've unpacked them once, and I was like, never again. Like, there's not a glove. I mean, chainmail, maybe.
No.
And it's still going to get through.
Or goat skin,
it's ridiculous.
But, there's methods.
So I have those barberry bushes out in front of my house. I keep stepping into them while I'm watering, and they just jab me. This morning, what is happening?
I'm hard pressed to recommend a barberry unless you don't like your neighbor's kids. And then they're great.
What about
great
cats?
Plant. I think cats are whatever. They'll crawl under them or whatever. Yeah. But
I actually love kitties, but I don't like them using my garden as a litter box.
Yeah, if you need a fencing, think barberries and yuccas.
And raspberry bushes.
Yeah, brambles of any kind.
Sorry. We're talking about fun holidays, and now we're showing barrier plants.
Hey, what do they say? Good fences make good neighbors or something like that?
Yeah, that actually works.
We're just talking about, boundaries.
Actually, I have great neighbors. I'm actually really lucky. Even when they're fussy, neighbors. They're all manageable. Because everybody has a moment where they're fussy. I'm fussy too. I have fussy moments all the time. And we just get through it. And then if somebody's really fussy, I just leave a plant on their door, and then they are less fussy.
I have no neighbors, and I love it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, you do have no neighbors out there, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get like it's shocking. Like my heart drops if someone knocks on the door. That is the lifestyle I live. I'm like, oh my God, is it the cops? And why?
What happened? Who died?
You know what? The last guy, it was his daughter had a pony. And he needed a pasture for his pony. So now we have a pony. And it all started by knocking on the door while I was playing video games after work. Just scared the shit out of me. Okay. I will address this on the podcast because I think it's really fucking funny. I play Animal Crossing.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
It is like made for like ADHD millennials. It is the perfect drug for us because it is so simple and it's just basic rules, my class is here.
No worries.
But we still have 10 minutes. She can wait. Anyway, it's just so simple. The structure of it is just, it's strategic, but it's almost like pointless. So all that combined, it is the perfect medicine for my chaotic tornado mind.
So is this like why I like to watch the videos when they clean the rugs and the
Yes,
patios when they pressure
this
wash?
scratches the same itch, like the
I was like
ASMR
this.
stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
having the itch over here.
Or
I'm
like
feeling
those
it.
painters that will do like the drops of paint and then like move it all around. It feeds the same part of the brain.
Okay.
I get it.
I totally catch myself and I'm like, get out of the rabbit hole, dear God.
The reason I have to just openly give myself crap here though is because I am a gardener on Animal Crossing. So I garden all day.
Then you go garden in Animal Crossing.
Come home and garden in my personal garden. And then when those chores are done, I get online and I garden there as well. Like that is.
Do you remember when you didn't really plant anything and then you started working here like what, 15 years ago, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
It all started when Adam needed a job.
I didn't need a job. You were just I think I
needed somebody.
Did you start in retail? Were you
managing? I did start in retail.
Yeah. You just asked me because you knew that I was like,
you'd show up and do the
dying
job.
To get out of food service because that's when I think you and I were at Tomatoes or you came back to Tomatoes part-time.
I was at Tomatoes.
Anyway,
I was coming out of Jakers.
You were just kind of appealing to my urge to get out of like customer service or whatever, food service. And so I started working out here part-time. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And I know some wonderful people who are still in it,
history.
but no, we're just walking the path.
Yeah.
So going back to patios, set up a space that you really enjoy. And if another person tells me that you need plastic plants, I mean, boy, howdy do you. But you could do succulents and then just every once in a while throw a glass of water on them. Probably good. Yeah. Then you still have plants. Or just have a clean patio.
Or go to someone else's patio.
That's a really good idea too.
That's the perfect lazy answer.
That's actually why people love coming to our house is because we have such a beautiful space.
Yeah, your space is really hospitable.
Well, and we work on it. Like it's active effort to make it so it's
spacious and well kept. So yeah, you hit all the marks.
Yeah, well, that's actually why we bought the house. I don't like my house. I like my property.
I was thinking earlier you were mentioning about like kind of recipes that we all talk about on the 4th of July. I am not Susie Homemaker, right? I said houseplants are above priority of eating, and that's true.
That's accurate. But I have to actually force food.
In fact, I fertilized on an empty stomach the other day. At 6 p.m. And then I was like, oh, I have to eat too. You're totally right. Plants. Go take care of that.
That tracks.
But anyway, this one year, when I was feeling myself, apparently, I made rhubarb simple syrup.
Okay.
And then we made vodka sodas with rhubarb simple syrup.
Oh, it could be
solid. I think just a lemon. It was delicious.
Yeah. There's so much you can do with
and
herbs.
I mean, if you're talking herbs too, like
step
up your cocktail game.
My favorite flavor combo, and I'm still working on this with cloverleaf. Strawberry based ice cream with a ribbon of like pesto, really ground up with pistachios.
Mint. Oh, okay. I was
pistachios.
Like, you strike me as like a mint basil.
No, not mint in that. You just do the pesto.
And you wouldn't have cheese. Strawberry.
You wouldn't have cheese. You're just grinding it down into olive oil really, really fine so you can create a ribbon. So you have that flavor without having chunks of leaves in your teeth kind of thing.
Sure.
And then pistachio chunks and strawberry ice cream. Oh my God.
I would eat that.
No, we tested it. We just couldn't get it so it was easy to eat. So we had to work on it some more. And we were trying to do it for Ice Cream Fun Day, and they wouldn't let me add ingredients at that time. Now they let you. But yeah.
You know what's a really good surprising snack around this time of year too is strawberries and sour cream and powdered sugar.
You can see that.
It's awesome. It's like strawberry shortcake, just easy and snackable. But I thought it was a weird combination. I can't remember who.
When I could eat dairy, back when I did eat dairy, technically couldn't eat dairy. I liked any kind of fruit with cottage cheese with salt on it. Yeah.
Cottage cheese is not for me.
I love cottage cheese. Cottage cheese does not love me. That's okay. But there's so many different things you can do. I mean, from desserts to side dishes to vegetables. And I mean, the meat, you have so much plethora. It's just like use herbs for your flavor. You also don't need sugar. You can use other things. I mean, because sugar is the pandemic of diabetes. I mean, it all starts from sugar and carbs.
Yeah.
And so it's not from fat. Fat's actually good. It helps your brain and helps your muscles. Like that actually feeds your body in a way that's positive and constructive as long as they're not like garbage fats. If it's junk food, that's a different conversation. But if you're eating like healthy fats, that's
Well, and
different.
there is a healthy aspect of sugars, and we do run on them. You know,
We do.
glucose
That's
is
how your body
fundamental
works.
to us,
Yeah.
but the overabundance of it in our diet is
Processed foods.
unprecedented, and it's like, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, one of these days we'll do a podcast on what food scientists who develop processed foods do to hack the foods and the chemicals so your body finds an addiction so that it can't turn off the, oh, I'm full, stop eating trigger that your body does. Because actually, food scientists at large companies actually are paid to find ways to hack the human body, to have you keep eating, to create the addiction so that you keep buying the food so that they become a profitable business.
Yeah. And then we can talk about Ozempic. Let's get really controversial.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
I'm excited for our winter podcast. That's going to be fun when we're like bored and not bored.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, that's starting soon.
We're in desk mode.
When it's
I know.
too hot. So get ready for your next round because we're going to have to figure them out. We might have to film them soon because
yeah. Your availability. That's a joke.
Well, gosh, maybe I need to do the podcast live from Columbus because that might be what I need to do.
There you
go. I'll figure it out. We'll actually probably film it at the end of this month. So with that, guys, we'll actually shut this down. But what we recommend for 4th of July, either get a really good party invite and don't do squat and bring a nice dish. Okay.
Some of us
option
do
A.
that.
Option A.
It's okay.
Option B, do that. Make a memory. Like you should do that anyways. Not like you lit yourself on fire and blew, cousin Joey out the with a bottle. I don't know. There's so many bad pyromaniacs out there that do stupid things with fireworks. And I'm married to one. It's fine. He likes to blow things up. And I'm just like, I'm not going to waste my money. Somebody else will.
Yeah.
I'll just focus on the party. So, and there are some badass fireworks displays. Go to them. I recommend Legacy Fields will have a killer fireworks show. Theirs will be after the 4th of July too. So that's kind of a fun thing. But no, and then find a party and do something fun. And if you're the one hosting the party, just make sure you have a hospitable space that people feel comfortable. I don't try to keep up with the Joneses. I just make sure I have a comfortable space that I love. And I don't care if I've got a friend, she does not like contrasting colors. Like she comes into my house and my house is rainbow. Like it is all the colors, all the rooms. Like I have no bars held. And she is very, very uncomfortable in my home. She cannot handle it. She'll come to my back patio and then she can kind of like, oh, there's green grass. It settles her. But she will not come into my house. I don't think she realizes I've figured this out about her. I've never called her on it to her face, but it makes her super anxious. When I go to her house, it's like all whites and stones. And like there's these little tiny subtle color pieces and they're all themed to the season.
Yikes.
Well, it fits in a box, and that's important to her. That's important to her.
You and I disagree, friend.
Yeah,
who will not be named.
I'll tell you afterwards. We're not on camera, but yeah, it's hysterical. So I love to have such a violent color all over because it brings me a lot of joy. And I know this is coming out July 2nd, but happy Pride for everybody who wants to celebrate Pride that in any way, shape, or form. I don't care. We love you. We support you. You're safe here. So with that, make sure that your spaces are awesome and celebrate some patriotism. Is that the word?
I don't think you can say that.
Okay, be patriotic.
Can you bleep that out? The P word?
Is it patriotism?
Just enjoy the company that is around you. Be nice to everybody and don't drink and drive. That's my advice. Just have a good day. I mean, every other person in this country is doing it with you. Yeah. Just think about that.
Yeah, but don't drink and drive. That is a really good one.
It's a drunk driving holiday killer.
It is.
So don't be a part of that.
Don't be a statistic, please.
Yeah.
And have a good time and do something fun. And all I ask is that you use a plant in the food you're making.
I think they technically have to at some point.
or an ingredient
Sugar.
that's made from a plant. That does come from a
Flour.
plant. Technically.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know
Unless
that.
you're like, what is that? Paleo? You could, I mean, at that
I'm
point, it would just
I'm
be
pretty
meat.
paleo for the most part. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Do our
That's the
send off.
homework. If you like this, subscribe, share it with your friends. And we invite you to go live life in full color because plain is pretty boring. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.